Listen up.
This just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report. Gossip. With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
You know, we're all excited to watch The Last Dance. It premieres this Sunday on ESPN. It's going to be 2 episodes. Yes, 2 episodes of this documentary series. Well, Michael Jordan was on Good Morning America yesterday, and he talked about a lot of different things, including how he went from Mike to Michael after a game-winning shot in college in 1982.
Up until that point, no one knew who I was. You know, I was a college kid, other than the university. But outside the university, I was just known as Mike Jordan. You know, and when I hit that shot, my whole name became Michael Jordan, and I think it resonated with a lot of people outside of UNC. So I mean, and I just started piling on that name itself from the successes that I endured, throughout the rest of my career. It wasn't about Mike; it was more about Michael. Yeah.
All right, then after that.
I don't remember it in real time, but I remember the replay.
Yes. Yeah, replays.
Yeah, I was 4 when it happened.
All right. Then he also talks about they actually played a clip from the docuseries, and in this clip, this is Michael Jordan. They were talking about how Michael Jordan was going back and forth with his doctor about an injury that he had and whether or not he should play.
Michael asked him, well, if I play, what percentage is there that I'm going to get hurt again? The doctor said, 10%.
And I just lost it. I said, look, it's 10% chance, but it's 90% chance that I won't.
And then I chimed in to the doctors, what happens if the 10% kicks in? And they said, well, then his career would be over. So I said to Michael, you're not understanding the risk-reward ratio. If you had a terrible headache and I gave you a bottle of pills and 9 of the pills would cure you and 1 of the pills would kill you, would you take a pill?
And I looked at him, I said, depends on how bad the headache is.
He was willing to take the risk. I mean, you can't be mad at him. It's his body. I mean, the only thing you can do is give him the advice and, counsel him and tell him, like, look, this is the risk. If he's willing to accept those risks, hey, and clearly it paid off, right?
He was that much of a champion. He didn't care. He wanted to win by any means necessary.
All right. In addition to that, he also talked about his last season with the Bulls.
We all were trying to enjoy that year, knowing that it was coming to an end. The beginning of the season, it basically started when Jerry Krause told Phil that, he can go 82-0 and he would never get the chance to come back. And, knowing that I married myself to him, and if he wasn't going to be a coach, then, obviously I wasn't going to play. So Phil started off the year by saying this is the last dance, and we played it that way. So mentally it just kind of tugged at you throughout the course of the year. It also centered our focus to making sure we end it right.
I don't understand why executives do that. If you got a coach who has, coached your team to 5 championships, why would you tell that coach, I don't care what happens, you're not going to be back next year? Like, I don't get that. Like, why wouldn't you want to make things right with Phil Jackson? Like, what more would Phil Jackson have to do? I don't get it.
Well, The Last Dance, as we all get ready for this, is going to feature commentary from Isaiah Thomas, Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen, and even Barack Obama and other notable public figures and NBA legends. So, should
is
be
Kobe
interesting.
Bryant on that doc?
I know we'll all be watching. I'm not sure.
I haven't seen him in none of the trailers or anything. I would assume he is, though.
All right, now Shaquille O'Neal was on ESPN, and one thing that he was discussing on ESPN is whether or not the Michael Jordan-led Chicago Bulls would beat the LA Lakers in their prime.
Easily, yeah.
Why?
Because I would have killed Luke Longley, Bill Winning, Cartwright, yeah. So the factor is me and my free throw shooting. Okay, another question is, our Lakers in their prime and Chicago in their prime, who is Phil Jackson with? Is he with us or is he with them?
I think he's with them because he was with them first.
So he would have tried the hacker shack, then he would. So I still would have averaged my 28, 29, but the key would have been the free throws.
That's a good conversation. I mean, but there was nobody to stop Shaq. Let's be honest. Nobody is stopping Shaq. Who's stopping Shaq back then?
First of all, the Bulls would win that series 4-1. Bulls had a lot of big bodies, a lot of big 7-foot, 200-plus, 300-plus pound centers that they could just throw at Shaq, keep him on the free throw line. They would neutralize him by keeping him on the free throw line. Michael Jordan shuts down a young Kobe because Kobe wasn't even in his prime yet. And then what?
No, they said both in their primes. When Kobe and Shaq was in his prime and when Jordan and the Bulls were in their prime. So Kobe would be at his prime and Shaq would be dunking and throwing all over the place.
Well, Kobe never even played with Shaq in his prime. Shaq was gone. Shaq was gone in Miami when Kobe was in his prime, winning those championships with Paul Gasol and those boys like that. Young Kobe was with Shaq. Shaq was still the man on that team. He was the dominant player on that squad. Kobe was more of a complimentary player, a superstar, but more of a complimentary player. That was Shaq's team. I think the Bulls win 4-1.
I think.
Well, I see y'all on social media Sunday night as we all watch this together. All right, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.